Teenagers run away all the time, but there appears to be a bigger problem in Gloversville.
The police chief says the Department of Social Services, in charge of evaluating, in some cases housing runaways, is more often than not just kind of sending them back to where they came from, their homes, and where they just run away again and again and again, and that can lead to danger. Danger seemingly lurks around the corner for children who run away in Gloversville. On average, in the last 3 years, 40 new kids have run away from home each year. And according to police, 36% of them become victims of a heinous sex crime. In the past, the state has detention centers, everything from foster care to a juvenile jail, that the Department of Social Services can easily place these troubled children into. But now the state's philosophy is different. Most of the facilities have cut back, and the state's goal is to keep the family together. That change is creating a costly and scary problem for the police chief there.
If we're putting them back into the environment where they have little or no supervision to secure their appearance, to come back and to get the help that they need or the services or get through the system where they need to be, then something needs to change.
All right, now joining us live in studio with much more on this special report is Fox 23's Marty Casper.
And Marty, certainly sounds like a scary situation they're dealing with.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, Lydia. Aside from finding themselves in situations no child should ever encounter, the cost of repeat runaways is adding up. In less than 3 years, the Gloversville Police Department has spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on runaway cases alone. And unless action is taken, the problem doesn't seem to be going away. On the streets of Gloversville and behind closed doors lurks a growing problem.
It's unthinkable. Some of the things that happen here.
A problem Chief Don Van Duzen fights every day and every night.
I think the system is at this point. I think it's broken.
A system that's failing taxpayers and failing children, as Van Duzen has spent nearly $200,000 on runaways alone since 2012.
It's frustrating when you deal with the same child time and time again.
Time and time again. Since 2012, police say 117 kids have disappeared from home, accounting for 418 different missing person cases. One kid even ran away from home 17 different times. But what's more startling, numbers show 1 in 3 of these kids become victims of sexual predators. When police pick up a runaway, they contact the Fulton County Department of Social Services, and an investigation begins.
It's frustrating because we have limited options as to what we can and cannot do with this child.
However, in most cases,
the child is placed back in the same environment.
I wanted to find out why. Why were kids here in Gloversville being put back in homes that allowed them to leave?
Department of Social Services, how can I help you?
We called Fulton County DSS Director Amy Mead. The department's policy for runaways. Twice. Calling for Amy Mead? But on October 9th, she declined an interview, saying she was, quote, not going to engage us. So I went to her office. Administration. Twice. Both times I was stopped by a guard before I was allowed to speak with Fulton County DSS leaders.
She'll talk to you, but she doesn't want to be filmed.
I asked Meade and Commissioner Sherry Cooper how they handle runaways. Was told there was, quote, no formula. Well, what about repeat runaways? Answer, it's, quote, hard to define a runaway. Meade and Cooper say they're swamped with cases and spend a lot of time stuck in court. Both women tell me it's like this because of a change in industry. They say the state philosophy is to try to keep the family together.
I think it's something the state has to address.
If these children continue to run away multiple times, there has to come a point where I think you have to put them in a facility where they are safe.
Assemblyman Mark Butler and Senator Hugh Farley say with limited facilities and a slow court process, the system appears broken. Both men say now is the time to act.
We're giving a certain signal to the courts that may not really reflect what ought to be done.
Now, since I began investigating this story, the Fulton County Department of Social Services, the Gloversville Police Department, the Johnstown Police Department, the Sheriff's Office, and probation officers have now agreed to meet once a month to work together to try to tackle this growing problem. Live in studio, I'm Marty Casper for News 10 ABC on Fox 23.